you once again, your math solution provider. In the previous video, we talked about lines and angles. Now, in this video, we'll be going further on that. Now, we'll be talking about parallel lines. Parallel lines are those lines that never ever meet. And it can be signified like this. It can be something like this. It can be shown like this. It can be something like this. And parallel lines are really, really important in real life. Talk about perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are those lines that form angle 90 degrees with each other. Okay? Now it means that like this, let's say this is AB and this is CD. So line AB is perpendicular to line CD. So they form 90 degrees against each other. Now let's look at intersecting lines. Intersecting lines are two lines that cut across each other. So this line, let's say EF intersects GH and vice versa. You can say GH intersects EF or EF intersects GH. So we'll talk about transversal line. A transversal line is a line that cuts across two pairs of line. So assuming we have let's say PQ, and this one is RS, and this is TU. TU is a transversal line that cuts across PQ and RS. Let's talk about corresponding angles. Now, when a transversal line cuts across parallel lines, some angles are formed. Now, those angles, they're angles called corresponding angles, and that's what I want to explain now. You have angle A equals angle E because they correspond with each other. Okay? So you have A equals E, you have D equals H, you have B equals F, and you have C equals G. Let's talk about alternate angles. Now, like corresponding angles, alternate angles are equal. Now here, we have alternate angles to be D and F. So D equals F, they are alternate angles. And C equals E. C equals E for the same reason. So let's look at something like this, a problem, an interesting problem to solve, which I'm sure we should be able to solve with all the things we've learned. Now, we are given this angle, 70 degrees, and we have to find A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Can we do that? Let's go. Now, starting from here, we have 70 and A. This is a straight line. Let's try and get A. Let's try and find A. So you have 70 plus A equals 180 degrees. Reason being angle on a straight line. Don't forget to write it. Please don't mind my short form. Angle of a straight line. Okay? So we have 70 plus A. We are trying to find A now. So we have A equals 180 minus 70, and that gives us 110 degrees. Now to get B, you can see that B equals 70 And what's our reason? Vertically opposite angles. So reason vertically opposite angle. Now let's see our C. What will our C be? Our C will still equal A, reason being the same. C equals A, which equals 110 degrees, and the same vertically opposite reason. Now let's get down to this other portion. Let's try our E. Okay, let's try E. Our E equals 70, and reason being alternate angles. Alternate angles. Then we have our D. Our D equals A, which equals 110 degrees, and that is corresponding angles. Then we have our G equals E, which equals 70, and our reason being vertically opposite. Then we have our F equals D equals 110, reason being vertically opposite angles. So we've been able to find our different angles, and it was very easy. Let's take a look at this question. We are given 67 degrees. We are supposed to find UTRSV. As usual, let's find them. So first of all, we know our known. Our known is 67 degrees. Now, the next one we should find is R. Okay? R plus 67, or let's say 67 plus R equals 180. Reason being, angle on a straight line. Angle on a line. Sorry for the shorts cuts. Okay, so you have R equals 180 minus 67, which gives us 113 degrees. Now, let's find U. Okay, our U equals R, which equals 113 degrees, and our reason being alternate angle. The alternate angles. Okay, then let's find our T. Our T equals 67 degrees. The same reason, yeah, alternate angles. Now let's find V. Our V equals U, which equals 113 degrees, and the reason being corresponding angle. And our S equals 67 degrees, for the same reason, corresponding angles. And these, my dear friends, are the angles we require. Let's look at the angles in a triangle. The sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. And I would like to prove that to you. Now let's take a look at this. This is a triangle. Now let me name it. You have P, Q, R. I have A, B. Good. So now, I want to prove that the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. I drew a parallel line, a line parallel to line QR. So from what we have here, we have A, B, and C. And we know that A plus B plus C plus C equals 180. And the reason being angle on a straight line. Then, we now know that angle PQR here equals A. And the reason being alternate angles, PQR. Okay? Alternate angles. And we have our angle C equals QRP or PRP. Let's say angle C equals PRQ. And it's the same alternate angles. They are alternate angles. And we've said before that A plus B plus C equals 180. And so, my dear friends, this is the proof that sum of angles of a triangle equals 180 degrees. Let's try and solve this easy question because it's definitely very, very easy. We are given two angles, 60 degrees and 50 degrees, and we're supposed to find A. How do we go about it? We know that A plus 60 plus 50 equals 180 degrees. Reason, sum of angles in a triangle. Please write it. So you have A plus 110 equals 180. And we have A equals 180 minus 110. And that gives us 70 degrees. And so, my friends, that's our A. So A equals 70 degrees. So let's look at this problem. Let's see how we solve it. Okay, we have two knowns and two unknowns. Let's start from here. Okay, we already know that C plus 120 degrees will give us 180 degrees. Reason being angle on a straight line. So you have C plus 120 equals 180. Okay, so our C equals 180 degrees minus 120 degrees, which gives us 60 degrees. So now we've established that our C is 60 degrees. We now need to find our D. And remember, sum of angles in a triangle, we now have 40 plus 60 plus D equals 180. And the reason being angles in a triangle. So you have 100 plus D equals 180. And G equals 180 minus 100. And that gives us 80 degrees. So our G equals 80 degrees. Now let's look at this problem. Okay? We have how many knowns? We have 1, 2, 3, 3 knowns and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 unknowns. But we'll start from the easier part. And the easier part is this part. Okay? Where you have 70 plus y equals 180. Reason being angle on a straight line. A straight line. Okay? So we have y equals 180 minus 70. And that gives us 110 degrees. Okay? Okay, now I've gotten our y to be 110 degrees. Now let's try getting our z. Sorry, this is supposed to be parallel line. Let's try getting our z. Our z plus y plus 25 should give us 180. Reason being, sum of angles in a triangle. So you have z plus our y is 110. 110 plus 25 equals 180. And you have 110 plus 25 equals, this is 135 equals 180. So our z equals 180 minus 135, and that gives us 45 degrees. So we have our z to be equal to 45 degrees. Now, let's try getting w. We can see that this is a transverse line that cuts across this parallel line and this parallel line, which means that this angle here should equal this angle here. So we should have our z plus w should give us 70 degrees, and reason being corresponding angles. And our z is 45, so you have 45 plus w equals 70, and our w equals 70 minus 45, which gives us 25. So we have our w equals 25. So it's meaning x, and you have x plus 95 plus 25 equals 180. Reason being, sum of angles in a triangle. So you have x plus 120 equals 180. So x equals 180 minus 120, which gives us 60 degrees. So we have our x to be 60 degrees. And so, my dear friends, these are the angles that we were required to find. I hope you found this video useful. Please calm down and solve as many questions as possible. If you have any questions, any queries, or any topics you want us to discuss, feel free to use the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.